course, anytime I expect the recording to break on the first try, it doesn't. What's up, Internet? It's a dumbass Panicos Gaming, and we're just going to keep working on Yamask here. We're just hopping right on into it tonight. So we're going to do about 200 eggs. I actually almost have enough for that, actually. I think I'm only a couple short, actually. But yeah, we'll do 200. Hopefully we get this tonight. We'll see. It'll put us at about 350. Not about, it'll put us at 350, so we should be at about a 50% chance to have had it by the end of tonight. So yeah. Not really much to talk about. Oh, there's a thing going on in Pokemon Go, which is interesting. So after the, Community Day today, or that's like starting to roll out. So basically tomorrow, one day I'm going to stop riding the bottom edge of this bridge. Jesus Christ. But after the Dratini Community Day stuff, there's going to be a thing where there's going to be like a Pokemon following you, and like there's some Pokestops are going to be gold instead of the normal color, and like there's some weird stuff going on with it that I guess it's going to be a tie-in event for the new games coming out, which isn't surprising. You know, kind of expected them to do something. But it is kind of weird how they're going about it. Just because it's like, just kind of weird. And they didn't like announce it or anything. It's just, I think it got noticed after people who have already had access to the Dratini Community Day finished that up. They noticed that there was some kind of weird stuff going on. But other than that, no real news since yesterday. I mean, there's no real surprise there, but there was a trailer that came out recently for Scarlet and Violet, but it's not like a... There's no new information in the trailer. It's like the same stuff that we've already kind of known. It's just kind of summarizing some of it. What's interesting is that there's like the paradox stuff and like all the leaks about like there being, you know, ancient and future versions of Pokemon or something. And there's been like a bunch of shit about that stuff that we've not heard anything about in the leaks yet. Or we've heard plenty about in the leaks, but we haven't heard anything officially yet, which is just a little weird for how big of a mechanic it seems to be. Let me see here. Sorry, I just need to do some math. So that's 180 there. Okay, so we basically need to get like 6 more eggs. We'll do that at the end, but... yeah, almost got enough ready for today. And then tomorrow we'll do 250, so that way we're up to 600. And we'll basically just do 200 eggs a stream for this until we get it. And then from there, I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do. Especially if we get it, like, this week, or, like, if we get it today. I'm not sure what I'm going to do for the next couple of days of streaming. Because, like I mentioned last stream, I probably won't do the hunt in Pokemon Let's Go Eevee. Because, the shiny hunt, that is. Because the way that works isn't how I thought it was going to work. And I don't really want to do it now. I thought before I was just going to be able to sit there and just let the shinies come. And then I... have found out that the odds are nowhere near as good as what we thought they were when the game came out, so, you know, not as interested in doing that, at least on stream. We'll definitely work on Ghetto next week. We'll work on trying to catch that in BDSP. Hopefully this time we have some more luck with that than before. And then from there, I'm not exactly sure what we're gonna do. Because... I mean, we'll only have like a week left. I want to work on more shiny hunting off stream before the new games come out, just to get the last couple of Galarian forms that I probably won't get on stream, but... Suppose I could do a thing where, like, I stream every day, but, I don't want to do that. I don't want to completely burn myself out with streaming before the new games are out. I'm gonna be playing a lot of Scarlet for the couple weeks after that comes out. Because that, Thursday, I hit a button on my keyboard. I'm, like, making sure I didn't stop recording or anything. Okay. I don't even know what button it hit. I just, like, my hand moved, I felt it hit something, I went, oh, shit. Anyways. But yeah, the day it comes out on that Thursday night, I'm basically gonna stream it until I can't stream it anymore. Until, you know, I have to go to bed. And then I still haven't decided yet if I'm gonna take that Friday or that Saturday off. Kind of leaning towards Saturday, to be honest. Because we'll still do a long stream on Friday. And then Saturday I can just, like... I won't take that... To be clear, take that day off of, like, my actual job, not from streaming. I won't stream that Wednesday before the game comes out. But then we'll do a long stream Thursday, long stream Friday, hopefully a very long stream Saturday. And then, yeah, and then the week after that, I believe... 18th. Yeah, the week after that is Thanksgiving in the United States, so that means I'm going to have that Thursday off as well from work, so I'm not going to be... Or I'm going to be able to stream a fuck ton. And then... Just trying to think. I don't think... Other than that, I don't think there'll be any, like, crazy amount of hunting. I guess I could do a really long stream that Wednesday as well. You can do that. Anyways, I'll figure, you know, I don't know exactly what it's going to be like, but there's going to be a lot of streaming for those couple of weeks. As I hopefully try and get... Yeah. As I hopefully try and get Scarlet beat pretty quickly. I don't necessarily want to, like, rush through and, like, skip story and stuff, but I do want to beat it fairly quickly so I can get to the shiny hunting. And, you know, well, it'll take a couple days before we kind of find out what the shiny hunting's going to look like, even in that game, I'm sure, because, you know, there'll be some official information about shiny hunting, but, like, a lot of how the mechanics work will probably have to get data mined. And until there's a data mine, if it's not official information or data mined information, I kind of just don't care. To be honest, at this point, I've been burned way too many times with pretty much everyone involved in Pokemon, except for, like, the official developers and stuff. Basically, like, just having not exactly correct information. Or, like, information that seems correct, but then later on it's discovered is nowhere near reality. Like, ideally, I would like to know what the odds are that I'm working with for my shiny hunts, but... yeah. But we should at least know, like, what methods we can do, you know? If there's going to be outbreaks again, if there's going to be breeding again, we still don't know. But I also get that, you know, breeding is one of those things where it's like, well, it's not really a big, you know... It's not really, like, a big feature that they are trying to advertise, because most people don't give a shit, right? So, it's not really something they talk about a whole lot. But it is concerning that so far all we've heard is that you can get eggs from the picnic mechanic, and that's it. Nothing else has been described. I really need to go and watch that Austin John video again, where he kind of breaks down what everyone else noticed and their in getting to preview the games. It is still kind of weird to me that he somehow didn't get invited. Like, I get that Game Freak wasn't going to invite every single person that makes Pokemon content, but also, like, he's probably one of the biggest ones. Certainly one of the, you know, most reliable ones for, like, information and guides and stuff, so... But he did at least, you know, go through everyone else's videos and be like, hey, here's the interesting information from all of their videos, basically. But, like, I don't remember there being anything about breeding in that, because, you know, they didn't have infinite time to play the game. And they were kind of confined to a... not a small area, but it was like a restricted area within like the full game map. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I'm definitely looking forward to those games. Definitely gonna look forward to being able to actually pre-order them. I mean, I could do it right now. I just... like I mentioned last time, I'm going to wait until I know within the period in which they actually charge the cards. Or, you know, when you pre-order the game well in advance, you don't actually get charged for it yet. Which is a little annoying. I think that's the second one. Like, I don't mind... I wish they would just give you the option. Just be able to say, hey, do you want to wait till the game's out to charge the card? Or do you want to just pay for it now? Because I would always just prefer to pay for it immediately. That way it's not like, oh yeah, I need to remember to have money in that account, you know? I can just pay for it, it's done, I don't have to think about it, there can't be an issue down the road where it's like, oh, actually I need that money for something else. That money is already gone, it's already accounted for, don't have to think about it. So, I'll just pay for it. Probably, what, it comes out on the 17th, 18th, so I'll probably pre-order it that, like, Tuesday or something. Because, I mean, the other thing is, I don't even really need to pre-order it, because the pre-order bonuses are all, like, available for, like, the first month, or something like that, or maybe even longer. So, and also the pre-order bonuses are abysmal, so who gives a fuck? This is definitely one of, like, the worst pre-order bonus sets we've gotten before. I think it's literally just a bunch of berries. Like, at least in some of the other games, it's been like... Sorry. But at least in some of the other games, it's been like, you get a whole bunch of Pokeballs, or... you know, you get, like, a set of, like, one of each of the rare balls, or something like that. Like, you know, not great pre-order bonuses, but also, I don't really care if a pre-order bonus is good. In fact, usually if a pre-order bonus is good, that means it's something that probably should have just been in the game to begin with. But this one especially is just like, why? Like, usually, you know, even in Legends Arceus, it was, like, outfits and stuff, which is like, okay, that's fine. I, like, never care about using that stuff, because if everyone has it, then usually I don't care, and usually they don't work well with, like, other clothing items. It's usually something that either only looks good as, like, a full set, or it's so hyper-stylized as, like, a, you know, release celebration type thing that I just don't think it looks good as, like, a regular use thing. But yeah, it's... at least, again, that stuff is like, well, for the people that do want it, that's interesting, but I don't know anyone who cares about getting, like, a couple potions and a couple berries and shit like that. And call me crazy, but I don't think potions are going to be rare in, like, any capacity, so, you know, it's not like, you know, it's not like if they gave out, like, max revives or something, it'd be like, oh shit, this is actually a good, you know, deal. I'm gonna be curious to see if there's any better way to get more Master Balls in the in Scarlet and Violet. Like, obviously in this game and in BDSP, you have you know, you have the Rotom lottery thing, or I guess it's not Rotom lottery in BDSP necessarily, but you know, the lottery thing where it checks all your trainer codes and stuff, or the trainer codes for all your Pokemon. And then in like Let's Go Eevee and Let's Go Pikachu, you can theoretically get more more Master Balls in the Cerulean Cave. I say theoretically because it's extremely low chance of happening. I suppose so is the lottery thing, but at least the lottery you can improve your odds. Speaking of lottery, I need to remember to go get Powerball tickets tomorrow. I generally don't care about the lottery stuff, like IRL, but when the grand prize is $1.6 billion before tax, you know, sure, I'll throw $10 at that. No actual chance of winning, but, you know, if I do, be a little crazy. Though, based on my shiny luck as of late, that's not going to happen. Anyways, but yeah, I'm curious to see if there will be something like that in Scarlet and Violet, or if we'll just get the one Master Ball again. Because I think, I don't think there was anything like that in Legends Arceus. I think the only... There was, like, the red, like, basically like a Cherish Ball, that you could use to catch the Legendary, or I think you had to use to catch the Legendary, be it Palkia or Dialga. But like, since I think you could only use it on that, yeah, I don't think you had any choice. I think you had to catch them with that. So it's just like, well, you know, that's not really a Master Ball, but I don't think there was like an actual Master Ball in that game, which makes sense. Master Ball was invented by Silphco, which does not exist for a very long time in the Legends Arceus world, so... But hopefully there's like some way to get more of them, even if it's like an absurd amount of like BP or something. Like 200 BP for per Master Ball. God, that'd be so nice. Just always keep one on hand at all times. Also, Hannah, sorry I didn't read this before, but yeah. Even just Pokeballs, if you get them at the start of the game... Yeah, like... Getting the Pokeballs early is still, like, better than a couple of potions. And usually it's like... Usually it's like a lot of Pokeballs. At least if you pre-order the double pack. Or if it's like a small number, then it's usually like something not as common as a Pokeball, something more useful. Like Quick Balls or something like that. But at the very least, I expect there will probably be the lottery again. I don't know why they would remove that. Unless they're gonna do it something like Legends Arceus. Or not Legends Arceus, but Let's Go Eevee. Or, you know, if there's some other mechanic for it. I assume there will be a way to get multiple Master Balls. But if it is the lottery, then I'm gonna have to work on collecting trainer codes for that. I really hope my, my copy of the game doesn't decide that it doesn't like the internet. Or I guess, I hope the Scarlet and Violet don't decide they don't... I hope they... How the fuck do I want to say this? I hope they cooperate with the internet here. God damn. I don't know why I was tripping over myself so hard trying to say that. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but this game, Sword and Shield, they like just don't like the internet here. Which is weird. Like, if I try and do mystery trades and stuff, they just... Or wonder trades, or whatever the fuck they're called. And they never go. And online battles are very hit or miss. Like, I probably get dropped from about a third of them. And it takes usually like 5 minutes or more even sometimes to find a battle. Not that I do much of that, but it's for online competitions. That's usually an issue. So yeah, hopefully that's not an issue with the new games, because I would like to be able to, besides like do wonder trades, which would be very helpful before the Pokemon Home support is out. But hopefully, like, I want to do, like, raids with people. Maybe not with randoms. No, we'll see. If there's, like... If there's not really a way to, like, grief your teammates, then I might be fine doing it with randoms. And it also depends on how difficult they are. Though, from what we've heard from the preview that the people got to see, was, the AI is considerably better for the raids, so... I mean, it's not like it could have gotten any worse. I think literally just having it randomly select one of the 4 moves would be more useful than the AI in Sword and Shield. Just like equal 25% of any move would be more usable. But the, yeah, I don't know. AI should be better, so maybe I won't even need to battle with other people, but we'll see. I would at least like to have the option, right? And, like, if they give out Pokemon through online competitions again, I would like for that to not be a potential massive issue. Because I did try and use it also with my, my Switch, and that wasn't really... Or, sorry, my Switch, with my phone. I tried to use my phone as a hotspot for my Switch, and that's didn't really work any better, but I don't know if that's because Sword and Shield didn't want to cooperate with that internet connection either, because in the past, like, you know, when I've lived other places, it's been not an issue, and it's only Sword and Shield that's an issue. The mystery or wonder trading in BDSP worked fine. So, we'll see. I didn't really try anything online with Legends Arceus. And the thing about this isn't just me that's had that issue either. Other people had that issue. That's actually, like, what made me realize there wasn't, like, something really, like, a bigger issue or something on my end. Was, like, people... I noticed a couple people mention, they're like, yeah, no, the Sword and Shield just, like, doesn't cooperate with some internet connections for some reason. I think it might actually have something to do with, like, nat types or something, which is kind of hilarious, if only because how is that still an issue in 2022, but... Or even 2019 when those games came out. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think those same people said anything about Legends Arceus, but it's possible I don't think I did, but it's possible I saw that before Legends Arceus was out. I know for a fact that BDSP worked fine, but that being Unity, and I don't know if maybe the engine for Scarlet and Violet is going to be using, like, the same online stuff as Sword and Shield. Or if they've, like, fixed some stuff with that or whatnot. So, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I'm gonna find out, I guess, right? And there's not really much I can do about it at the current moment, so we will just have to see. God, we've already almost done 50 eggs. But this should be about like a 2.5 hour stream-ish? Maybe closer to 2. We'll see. But we should be at 350 eggs when we wrap up. So we're about a quarter of the way there. It'd be really nice if we could get this today. Because, like, if that happens, I can... I don't know. Well, we'll see what happens. I honestly... I might just play Legends Arceus for the next couple of days if I get that. And I'll just commit to try and get Slowpoke and Darumaka off stream. I mean, I already got one of the Slowpoke. I do still have, like, a couple boxes left of eggs, but actually, I think 3 boxes of eggs left for Slowpoke. I can check actually right now. Two boxes. So it's possible I could still get another shiny out of that. Not likely by any stretch of the imagination, but possible. And then... yeah, I mean, after that, it's breed more for Slowpoke, breed more for Darumaka. I guess I could do those on stream as well. Yeah, maybe I'll just work on those on stream, but just assume they're not going to get posted. Alright, 5 more for the first 50. Oh yeah, something I forgot to check. Sorry, give me 1 second here. What was it? Alright, sorry, I just wanted to look at something. It's just something I, like, just remembered to look at. Alright, I assume I moved those into my party? Yes, okay. And these ones I'm even, like, worse about being paranoid with, being that they are, 63 or 6,400 steps instead of the normal, like, 5,100. It's like I'm already bad enough about checking, like, right before they start hatching. Being like, did I put them in the party? I feel like they should have hatched. But I guess the good news is, well, maybe I shouldn't get ahead of myself with this, but even if I don't somehow get the Yamask over this weekend, which would really suck, I should be able to at least get the Dragonite line. Dratini, Dragonair, and Dragonite. Get all of those shiny. Because I will probably just do that whole event tomorrow. There'll be, you know, the whole community day in Pokemon Go. I'll probably be in it the whole time. Oh, maybe not. I do actually have to be at work at 4. Oh, well. If for some reason, like, I don't know. If I haven't gotten all 3 of the shinies that I need by the time it, like, work rolls around, I'll just call and be like, hey, I'm gonna be, like, 30 minutes late. I'm just washing dishes anyways, it's fine. It just means that I have to work a little bit harder for the first little bit to catch up. And with all the bullshit I put up with that place, they can deal with me being a few minutes late. It's fine, but we'll see. I got 2 hours before I would even have to worry about that. Alright, 200 total eggs, still no shiny. That reminds me, I need to write this down so I don't forget it again. To do, like, the split counter thing. Yes, I did just put eggs in, right? Make sure I actually did that before I, like, try and do this without looking at the screen. There we go. That. Make a new note. Yes, that's right. Alright. Because I do want to, like, have a, like, a total count for how many eggs I've hatched total, as well as, like, a session count for, like, how many I've hatched on that stream. Or I guess current stream would be how I'd label that one. Probably should design some stuff around that pretty soon here as well. And actually, with some of the new updates, well, I am a little bit disappointed with the Now Playing update. It's entirely my own disappointment. I think it said it from the beginning that this was the case, but one of the things that's eventually coming with the new update to that service or whatever is more customization for basically all of the designs. And for some reason my brain skipped over the part that said that's coming later and thought that was going to be with the release of 2.0. But there's still some design stuff that I can do within that, so... And if I'm making, like, a whole, like, design for it, it might work. We'll see. Oh, whoops. Grabbed my entire party. Didn't mean to do that. Alright, next set. I did put them in, right? Yes, okay. There we go. It really does suck to have this one be a 6,000 step one. At least it's not 10,000 steps, though. Those ones, like, take forever. Sometimes it feels like... Not even, it feels like it, like... They literally take twice as long as the average number of steps for eggs, so... Anyways. Actually, I wonder what, like, the actual average is. Like, if you take every Pokemon species that you can breed, how many steps it takes to hatch them. Because I imagine it would be probably around that 5,000 step mark, but also, I don't know, because like, there is no, like, 0 step egg, right? I think the lowest is, like, 3,000 or something. So I wonder what, like, the average would be. I think the normal amount is, like, 5,000, the, like, median or whatever. But, like, if you were just, like, to do a, like, raw average... I wonder if it actually would be around the 6,000 mark, actually, because I feel like it probably skews higher than the 5,000, just because, like, it goes up to 10,000, but it doesn't really go less than 3. And even if most Pokemon are in the 5,000 range, there aren't many that are less, you know, there's not many in, like, the 3,000s. Probably more that are in the 10,000s, to be honest. Actually, I don't know. I guess bug Pokemon are probably all pretty fast hatchers. Anyways, that's 2 boxes down out of the just under 7 total that we're doing tonight. I think tonight, right after the stream's done, I'm gonna... Assuming I don't get the shiny anyways, I'm gonna... Well, actually, I don't know. I might have to collect eggs no matter what. Gonna be releasing all these, and then, probably, like, immediately going into collecting a bunch more. Because I have been, like, not quite having enough each day. Like, even before I started this stream, I got off of work, and then I actually collected a bunch of eggs. Just to try and have enough for this stream, actually. Plus, I wasn't really planning on starting before 12:30 anyways. But I think it's probably better if I try and collect these at night first, get enough, and then I can work on hatching the... What the fuck is in my throat? Oh, God, that was annoying. It was like there was something that was catching in my throat that was just like something, like a crumb or something. Actually, it still feels like it's there too, which is weird. But it's just like I was trying to talk and it was just like my throat didn't want to cooperate. Anyways, just me being fucking weird. Yeah, like last night I hatched a bunch of eggs for the Slowpokes before I, like, started collecting stuff. But I think I need to, like, make sure the next stream is ready before I do any, like, off-stream shiny hunting. Because my logic is, like, oh yeah, I'll just wake up early tomorrow and then, you know, make sure that I get my stuff done. But then I never wake up early because that's considerably harder to do than it is to say that you're gonna do. Easier said than done. That's the phrase I was looking for, but my brain didn't want to cooperate, so I had to reword it somehow. I can't even really complain too much about being tired tonight, because I'm really not that tired. I did work 8 hours, but I mean, that's not really that crazy. Alright. Next set of eggs. And away we go. Come on, Yamask. Please show up shiny tonight, just so I can get this hunt out of the way. I know we're way before odds, so I'm not, like, concerned yet, but I am concerned about this, like, somehow taking 2 weeks again, like Corsola did. Actually, Corsola might have even taken longer than that, but I was also mixing in Let's Go Eevee. Yeah, never mind. Corsola definitely took longer, but, again, I was mixing in Let's Go Eevee at the time. But, like, if I can at least get a, like, successful hunt of every species of the Galarian forms before the new games are out, I'll be okay with that. I still would really like to have just the Galarian forms done. But, I mean, who knows if that's going to happen. Definitely doesn't seem like it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen on stream, that's for sure. Just because the Corsola really made that difficult or unlikely. And then Slowpoke kind of just killed the last chance of it having any chance. Though, actually, I do say that, but Slowpoke was... There was a shiny in, like, the eggs I already had bred, so I guess I would have probably gotten that Slowpoke on stream. If I had actually, like, streamed last, Sunday. Or on Wednesday, like I was supposed to as well. I haven't decided yet if I'm gonna do, like, a makeup stream on Monday. I might. It'll just depend on how tired I am. But there definitely won't be a stream Tuesday, because I already have some plans for that. And then Wednesday's already a stream day, so I mean... I can't really... Well... I suppose I could do 2 streams, like or do like a double-length stream or something, but I'm not going to. If it gets to Wednesday and I haven't done like a makeup stream yet, then it's just not gonna happen. Which is fine, whatever. I'm happy I've been fairly consistent with my new streaming schedule. Because that's like one of the things I've been worst about, is just like being kind of even remotely tired and be like, I don't feel like streaming today. So being in this, like, having a good habit of just streaming has been really nice. Even though I've been kind of inconsistent the last couple of weeks, but that's okay. Part of that is just I've been burned out with the shiny hunting a little bit. I say as I'm doing more of it, but just, I don't know. Having a bunch of hunts in a row go over odds. I mean, of the last... Not including this hunt, because we're not even at odds yet, but of the last 5 hunts that I did, 4 of them went over odds, and 2 of them were, like, a pretty decent ways over odds as well. Well, Corsola was, like, way off into its own land of absurdity, but Slowpoke was kind of way over odds, and then, what was it, Zigzagoon and Darumaka? Yes, Darumaka, because Stunfisk was the one that I got below odds. So the other 2, Zigzagoon and Darumaka, were both, they were only, like, just over odds. I think they were both, like, within 50 of being in odds, but it was still, like, still a little annoying after that Corsola hunt. That hunt just kind of killed me. But, oh well, it is what it is. Even if I don't get all the Galarian forms, I don't know. Honestly, I'll probably end up getting them before I'm even at the point of shiny hunting in Scarlet, because realistically, like, since I'm only going to be playing Scarlet on stream for the first little bit, because I'm going to want to do all my story progression on stream. Or not just story, but like all the actual content in that I want to do on stream. So yeah, I mean, we'll see. I have a feeling I'll probably have those other Galarian forms first then. And then I'm going to start working on the Alolan forms of the ones that I can do. And I guess that does also depend, because we don't know... we know that Grimer and Muck are confirmed for Scarlet and Violet. We don't know if the Alolan forms will be possible. Because if there's no breeding, then they won't really be. Like, I would assume if they are in the game at all, you'll be able to, like, kind of similar to Isle of Armor in this, or, actually, was it even before that? I think. Yeah, no, it was Isle Armor, or, Let's Go Eevee. There'll be, like, trades that you can do to get an Alolan form Pokemon. Or a Galarian form, or a Hisuian form, I'm sure, as well. Now, we do know at least some other regional forms will be available, because we've already seen Hisuian Zoroark, or Zorua, one of the two. So, like, I assume you'll be able to get them, but if you can't breed for them, there probably won't really be a way to shiny hunt for them. Because I assume they won't just be out in the wild for you to get in distortions, or, outbreaks or something. Although, I don't know, maybe that's part of the whole paradox stuff. Maybe they can appear in, like, some sort of outbreaks or the like. We'll just have to see, though. Because, again, it's not even confirmed that the Alolan forms of Grimer and Muck will even be in the games. And if those aren't confirmed, or if they aren't in the game, then I still can't get all the Alolan forms. So I'm not going to worry about doing those yet. And to be honest, I'm already kind of not looking forward to doing the, doing all, like, the trading stuff to get the in-game trading stuff, that is, to get the shinies for, Alolan forms anyways in Let's Go Eevee. So, like, I don't want to go pick up a copy of Let's Go Pikachu just to go do that as well. Though, I suppose, it wouldn't be... I was thinking, like, I don't want to play through the entire game again, but since the Shiny Charm doesn't work, I literally just have to get up to the point where you're able to trade with that one person. And, like, catch enough Grimer to be able to do that as well. Maybe they won't be as bad. The only thing that sucks is, like, I don't really buy games physically anymore. So, like, yeah, I could go buy a used copy of Let's Go Pikachu and then take it back and, you know, trade it back in and get some money back. But, like, if you trade them for credit, it's not as bad. But you do still lose some money doing that. And, again, since I don't really buy physical games, it's not really... I guess... The thing I could do is I could do that, or buy the game, you know, get my shinies or whatever, trade it back in, and then use the, like, get it as, like, trading credit, right? And then use that to buy a Nintendo Online, like, you know, code card or something. Depends on how much they would give me for the trade into, because, like, I know GameStop's gonna fucking be selling it for, like, $45 or $50 used, and then turn around and give you, like, $5 for it. So, who knows? That's like, I hate trading in game stuff, especially with GameStop, because it's just like, you're literally just taking it and putting it on the shelf. Like, it's not like, you know, they're taking used stuff and then having to service it, because if the game doesn't work, then they just won't give you money for it. They just won't take it. It's not like, oh yeah, we'll refurbish it. Like, no, you're just shit out of luck. And it's a cartridge, it's not even like a disc, so there's not really anything to get damaged at this point. It's not like with a disc where it can get scratched up, you know? So it's just like, you know, it'll be a brand new game comes out. And if you, like, in the store, take off the plastic, they'll be like, yeah, we'll give you $30 for it. When you've just paid 60 or 70 for it. And then they're gonna immediately, as soon as you do that, turn around, put it back on, slap the sticker on it that is pre-owned, and sell it for 55. And it's just like, fuck off. Like, I get, like, if there's, you know, something you actually, like, need to do to refurbish it, like, yeah, you have to pay for your labor and shit, but, like, there's no labor there. You're just being cheap. There are other places I could go to. There are, like, used shops. Although, as sad as it is, honestly, GameStop's one of the least bad ones about trade-ins. There's other fucking places I've been where I went to go, like, trade stuff in, and it's like, yeah, we'll give you, like... It was, like, 10 games. It's like, yeah, we'll give you, like, 12 for it. And I was like, 12 games back? It's like, no, $1. It's like, what the fuck are you... No. I'm not trading games in at $1 a piece. Go, like, fuck off. And then you go and look at their shelves and they're selling them for, like, $30 or $40. Like, fuck you. There is one place that at least used to be good. But I don't even know if it's... They have one nearby? Because it is like a chain. I did move. Stop, yes, okay. But that's the thing with GameStop. At least they give you something for the games. A lot of places that do trade-ins are just even worse deals. And it's like, yeah, okay, I want to support local, but if local isn't going to support me, then local can go fuck itself. But we'll see. Again, that all depends on if the Lowland forums aren't in the new games. Because Grimer and Muck are the only ones that I can't get with my current games. Like, Diglett and Vulpix, Alolan forms, I can get those by breeding Marowak and Pikachu, or Raichu rather, and the Rattatas as well. I can get those in Let's Go Eevee through the trades. Which I have been working on a little bit, trying to get, like, ready to do that stuff as well. It's possible I could do a stream of that or something. I wonder if... This is a big if. Because I don't know if people would be okay with me doing this. Being that I do have this switch-up thing, and it just has, like, the auto-confirm thing that lets you kind of mash through stuff really fast, which is great for things like the trades in Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, or the in-game trades. I wonder if I could do a stream where, like, I play... It would have to be a PC game that I play, because obviously I couldn't do it with the Switch and with that. Or, like, you know, I don't have two Switches. And even if I did, I don't have two capture cards. But anyways, if, like, I streamed something else, but also, like, on the side... Or, like, in a, you know, kind of like with the webcam, I have, like, a picture-in-picture thing going on, going the other game as well, like the Shiny Hunt, I should say. So I can have just, like, one of those trade hunts or whatever just kind of going while I stream something, and then, like, have it in the corner so I can pay attention to it, or notice it when I get a shiny or something. I kind of like the idea of doing that, but I don't know if some people would get real unhappy with that. Because I know some people are going to be like turbo purists about, oh, you're doing the shiny hunting yourself, you use the switch up. Fuck off. Like, especially for ones like that, where it's, like, just a miserable way to hunt. Yeah, like, breeding is infinitely more interesting than hitting A for hours on end for a 1 in 4,000 chance to get a shiny from a trade. But I'm thinking now I could do that with, like, if I do, like, not a ROM, a completely legitimate copy or playthrough of a copy of one of the older games. But if I did that, like if I played through, you know, red version or something, that would take up only part of the screen, and then we could have the webcam and, like, the other stuff next to it. That can actually work pretty well, now that I think about it. I probably wouldn't even actually keep track of how many, like, trades I go through. I'd probably just have it there. I'll worry about that after Scarlet is out, though. Because, again, I'm only going to do that trading stuff if I can make sure that I can get all the Alolan forms as shinies. And I don't want to be trying to start anything before Scarlet comes out. In terms of, like, new playthroughs or anything. We'll get through that first, and then we'll worry about where we go from there. Alright, almost done with another 50 eggs. We're almost halfway through for the night. I think it should be about a 2-hour stream. So we're right at like 1 hour right now. I do want to do longer streams, but it's kind of difficult when I stream so late at night because it's like after work and like I don't want to go till like 6 in the morning. And also the problem is like I try and collect the eggs before the stream, but that like I've not been collecting enough to go longer. So like even tonight I do have to actually collect a few more at the end of the stream just to finish, but I think it's like 6 more eggs that I need or something like that. There we go. Last 5 eggs of the first half. Alright, last one. Are we gonna get in within 250? Probably not. Nope. That's fine. Alright, 100 more eggs tonight. Which should be close to a 50% chance that I will have seen a shiny by 350, but as I have seen recently, that doesn't necessarily mean anything. Actually, I want to see... What was, Stunfisk. 345. So that one was, like, just under odds. Jeez. Or just under 50% chance. Because I was thinking, like... Even with Zigzagoon and Darumaka being, like, just over odds, the chances of you seeing a shiny, or taking, like, even 512 which you would think would be average, is actually, you're more likely to get a shiny before that than it taking that long. I think I kind of said that weird, but the point where you're more likely to have seen a shiny than not seen a shiny is at like 355 eggs. Which is weird, but that's how probabilities work. Or when you start, you know, stacking probability, I guess. However you want to say it. I don't know. It's tired. I'm tired. It's late. Jesus fucking Christ. Come on, Yamask. Let one of these be shiny for me, please. I don't want this to be another 2-week hunt. I've had enough of, like, multi-week hunts. At least for the time being. Granted, I have 2 more days before we even start worrying about that, but... still, it'd be nice to get it early. Oh, that one's actually... I mean, the nature's not great, but no good physical attack, and the rest are special is perfect. Could be good. I think with Yamask, you do want, at least for singles, you want a physical attacker, actually, but... I imagine there's probably a... or not, I should say, not with Yamask, but with Runegrigus. Or Runerigus, however you say it. Forget what it is, because it's Cophagrigus and then, yeah, Runerigus. I know about the spelling of Cophagrigus because there's an unfortunate 3-letter combination in that Pokemon name that means that if you try and nickname the Pokemon to its normal, like to its actual name, it won't the game won't let you do that because of a certain 3-letter combination there that also happens to be a slur. Actually, I think you might have to nickname Cophagrigus to be able to use it in online modes because the name gets blocked and it's like, yeah, you can't use this Pokemon. The funny cigarette word, yeah. Except, you know, not for cigarettes, but for Cophagrigus and Chatot, the two most hilarious bands in like online modes because there's nothing wrong with Pokemon themselves, but you know, I still find it hilarious that they never thought that the Chatot thing would be an issue. Like, at least Cophagrigus is like, yeah, that's a localized name, and whoever's localizing it didn't even think about, like, how that might work out. But the Chatot thing is like, yeah, let's have people just, like, be able to record their own cry for this Pokemon. How could this possibly go poorly? Oh, and it works in, like, I don't know if... Yeah, no, there was online battles with Gen 4, right? There was a bunch of steps you had to go through to do it, because either you needed like a very insecure Wi-Fi connection, or you had to use like a special dongle to connect to your computer to do Wi-Fi with it, but... Chat. It's kind of a shame they didn't change that mechanic to be something else. Like, obviously, don't let people record their own cry, but, like... maybe, like, just make it a thing where, like, you can use the cry from a different Pokemon, like any other Pokemon in the game. So that way it's, like, mimicking a different Pokemon. Or, you know, also maybe have some, like, built-in sound or something. Like, do something so that way it's not, like... completely pointless, because like as it is, Chatot is just like there's no point to its existence. And granted, that's true of like 90% of Pokemon, but you know, Chatot had a unique mechanic, and then it had to be taken away because people are shitty. But also, like, they probably, you know, Game Freak probably should have seen that coming. But I guess that was fairly early internet. When did Diamond and Pearl originally come out? Because Heart Gold Soul Silver came out in 2010, something like that? 2010, I think. Now I'm thinking about it. Or like right at the end of 2009. So Diamond and Pearl had to be a little bit before that, so like that's... there were already examples of they were 06. Oh, jeez, okay. Okay, I'm a little bit more forgiving of that, because, I mean, yes, there were already examples from, like, you know, how, from the internet of just, you know, if you give people any power whatsoever, they're gonna fucking use it to say slurs. Let's be honest. So, like, you know, that was still early enough that I guess it's kind of understandable how they made the mistake, but also, like, come on. No one in Game Freak or the Pokemon Company or Nintendo went, hey, couldn't this be used to be really fucking awful? Or even just, like, annoying, you know? But I suppose that's, like, one of the least bad of those. I'll still never get over the Mountain Dew poll for what their next flavor should be. Fucking gushing granny. God damn it. The best part is that one, like, is almost, like, if it had just been that one probably would have gotten through. Let's be honest. Because, like, yeah, you know, like, Granny Apples. Like, that name, if it had just been that name that had been the joke name, it probably would have gotten through. But, you know, fucking less original and funny people had far less funny names that were just, like, lazy. And it's like, fuck off. Or the time that the internet sent Pitbull to Alaska. Another fucking classic. When is that one? I will say, hey, he fucking did it. He went to that Walmart in Alaska, so good on him. That was pretty cool. But this is like, you can't give any power to people on the internet, or it will be misused. Did I put Pokemon back in? Or eggs back in, rather? I don't want Pokemon in my party. That's, like, the entire point of this. Other than the, Chandelure. Oh, I did also, learn recently, I kind of figured this was the case, but I never had actually looked into it, but you can't, like, stack 5 Chandelure and make your, one single egg hatch super fast. Yeah, Taylor Swift being sent to the school for the deaf. Yeah. That one's just kind of mean, too, because, like, Taylor Swift isn't a bad artist. I'm not going to say I listen to a lot of her music, but, like, it's good. I just don't care for pop for the most part. But yeah, that one was funny. Didn't they do... Wasn't there a thing where, like, they canceled that poll or whatever, and then they tried to do it again and didn't learn their lesson, and so, like, they fucking tried to send her somewhere else stupid? Or no, wasn't that the second one? Because wasn't it like they did a online thing, and so people, like, tried to send her to somewhere outside of the country, and then so they redid it, but it's like, oh, no, it has to be within the United States. And they still just, like, okay, we'll figure out other ways to fuck with you guys. And then you have the absolutely tragic one. Tragic in that, like, they didn't use the name because it was, like, actually innocent, but also really funny with the Bodie McBoatface thing. And it's like, come on. You can't, like, I understand other ones why you can't, you know, name your soda flavor Hitler soda or whatever, you know. Like, obviously, I get that. But, like, come on. That's, like... That's so innocent and tame and funny and shit. Just, like, name it. Fucking name the boat Bodie McBoatface. Like, come on. That was funny. And not, like, you know, offensive. Unless you're, like, some really just, like, the most absolute can't have fun ever type jackass. Which apparently that whoever was in charge of naming that boat was. It's like some research boat for Antarctica or some shit, right? Something like that. That was really lame when that happened. Bodie McBoatface is real, though. Yeah, but that isn't the actual, ship that was supposed to be named it. I'm sure someone else did, right? Like, obviously, and sure, plenty of other stuff has been fucking joke named like that, but, like, the original pole, or the boat that, like, the pole was originally for, it's only a small one, though. Oh, yeah, wasn't it something where, like, they named, like... one of, like, the support ships or whatever, like, one of the small support things or whatever was named it. It's like, fuck off. That reminds me of the fucking time where, Stephen Colbert on the Colbert Report mentioned that NASA was having some naming competition for, like, some module for, I think the ISS? I don't remember for sure. And he just, like, kind of mentioned it on his show. And people were like, oh, shit, we should just, like, name it Stephen Colbert. Or Colbert or something like that. Like, I don't even think he, like, tried to get his audience to, like, do it. It just ended up happening. And, of course, they, you know, were kind of babies about it. Like, oh, you know, you weren't supposed to, like... you know, influence your audience to vote for your name or something like that. It's like, right, but he didn't. It just happened. But also, okay, fine, whatever. Like, if you want to be weird about that, okay, fine. Because, like, I get you don't want to set the precedent of having fucking celebrities just happen to name drop this naming competition thing. You know, fine. But then they had something that was like, oh, well, maybe we can name one of the toilets after him. It's like, fuck you. Like, what the fuck? That's just like, that was so fucking uncalled for and shitty of you, no pun intended. Just like, alright, fine, if you don't think it worked within the rules of the competition, fine, don't be a fucking bunch of assholes about it. I think it was just one guy that made that, like, offhand remark, but it's still like, fuck you. Like, even as someone who's like, I could care less about Colbert. Like, the Colbert Report was funny, but, like, it's not like I'm gonna watch his fucking late night show or whatever. I don't give a shit. But, like, there's, like, it was just so uncalled for with that. It was like, just fuck off. That was, like, the most, like, of them not, like, going with the name that was chosen. That's, like, the most, like, offensive one of that, just because it's, like, just say, no, we're not going to name it after a celebrity, and just move on with your life. Don't make the fucking shitty offhand joke. There have been ships in the French Navy called Colbert before. I mean, even that would have been a better excuse than, or like, again, just all you had to say was like, yeah, we're not gonna name it after a celebrity, even if you didn't necessarily campaign for it or whatever. It's like, it's still, that's not the point of what our competition is supposed to be. Fine, like, that would have been fine, but I don't know. It was just dumb. Oh, so it is possible I'm misremembering that or something, because that was a long time ago. But I just remember that being something that stuck out to me. I was like, man. Even like then when I was, you know, a lot younger, I was like, that's not cool to say that. Like, even as like that's the other thing. It probably was entirely like entirely just a joke thing that was never meant to be serious. The like saying, oh, we'll name the toilet after him. Like, I'm sure maybe that was just, it was just supposed to be a joke, and because I think I read that they said that, so like, you know, the context got lost there, but it was still like, maybe don't make that comment next time. I don't know. Alright, come on. I think I have eggs in my party? We'll check when I get to the end of the bridge here. I have a feeling I didn't put eggs back in my party. No, I did. Okay. I don't know why it feels like this one's taking, like, way longer than it should be. There we go. Also, something I just realized is that, yeah, because I mentioned earlier I should probably get the eggs for tomorrow's hunt tonight before I go to bed. I just realized I really need to do that because I'm going to be doing the Pokemon Go event, so, you know, kind of won't really have time to do anything else tomorrow before I go to work and before I stream. Because I was just thinking about it, I have, like, a lot of shit that I need to do for getting all, like, the new stream stuff set up before the new games are out. Which, actually, speaking of that, I've been looking at, like just trying to check on GPUs, specifically the Intel Arc GPUs. You can definitely get an A380 right now, because the ASRock ones, the ones that like originally launched a while ago, but they've been they were back ordered for like months, and then finally the rest of Arc has been starting to come out. But yeah, those ASRock ones are actually like available on Newegg for $140. So we'll see. I need to look at those, and well, what I'm kind of waiting for now is I want to see either the A310's launch, which Gigabyte is supposed to have one pretty soon here. Or like they, you know, it's confirmed that they're making a board for it. Whether or not that'll be available to consumers or only as like for pre-builds, we'll see. I don't know, does Gigabyte have their own pre-builds? I would assume they do. They make pretty much everything you would need, right? Other than like, I don't know, they make power supplies, but anyway, power supplies are, you know, they can get some no-name company or to make an unbranded one or something for them. But anyway, speaking of power supplies, if Twitch AV1 support comes before the A310 launches, I might have to look into just buying like a 1000 watt power supply and getting an A380. Because one of my things with besides the fact that I don't know where my cables are for my my extra cables for power supply, and actually now that I think about it, I may never have actually even gotten those, because this power supply was when my buddy upgraded his GPU to a 3080, I got his 2070, and he also got a new power supply when he did that, so I also got his old power supply, which I think was like, I think it's a 750 watt, which should be fine for a 2070, and just running like another card as a an encoder card. But like, it makes me a little bit worried. Like, I think it'll be fine with an A310. I don't know if even with the cables that we need, it would be fine for an A380. So I might just take the plunge and buy a 1000 watt power supply. That way, you know, if I do replace this, like say if my buddy replaces his 3080 at some point, and I get that, then I still don't have to worry about it. But we'll see with that. I don't really want to spend a bunch of money on new computer parts right now, other than like buying the encoder card. The other thing is I need to see if my system even will work with resizable bar. I don't know if that's a thing that I can do right now with it. I should probably look into that. I keep on forgetting to do that though, because I have to open up the BIOS to see. Anyways, give me a second here. I'm actually going to take a quick break to run to the bathroom, so I will be right back. Recording is resumed. Back to the scene. Alright. I think you need a 3000 series card for a rebar. Well, the GPU isn't the issue with that, because the Intel GPU will support that anyways. Oh, but if this... we'll see. Yeah, the big issue is if my CPU and motherboard are going to support it. I don't think I swapped out Aches, did I? But I do wonder if maybe, even if the CPU and motherboard would support it, if having the 2000 series card in my system would make that not available to turn on. Well, we'll find out. That's something I should really look into before I think about buying a graphics card. But it's also one of those things where I haven't cared too much yet, because the one that I actually want isn't available. Because I want either an A310 or a Pro A40, but I assume the A310 is going to be cheaper. I assume the A310 is going to be like, hopefully like $100, maybe like 80 or 90 if we're really lucky. Depends on if Intel realizes that literally the only existence for that card is going to be as an encoder. I would assume they do, because I don't know why they would be releasing that anyways. It's not a gaming card, right? Like, that card has no business being called a gaming card. It's basically only going to be good for, like, watching 4K video. And maybe even that is going to struggle with. We'll see. Actually, I suppose if it has the hardware encoders built in, then it should be able to handle a video. But again, I also don't even know if I need to have resizable bar to use the encoders on the A310 or A380 or whatever. And, like, something else I could do, but I really don't want to do, because the A770 is comparable to the 2070. I think it's, in some cases, it's, like, slightly better performance, but also, like, older titles, it's going to be worse performance, because it's, you know, the Intel drivers just aren't as good for older titles, because why would they be? They haven't had to make drivers for the older titles before. But the big thing is just, like, the driver, you know, the Intel stuff is kind of flaky right now, so, which, you know, I'm not going to say it's fine, because it's a paid product for hundreds of dollars that doesn't quite work properly, but also, realistically, no one should have expected the Alchemist cards, the first-gen Intel graphics cards, to be, like, actually any good. Like, the fact that when it works, it's comparable to, like, a 3060 or 2070 or something like that is nice for the A770, especially for the price. But also, like, you know, I think everyone should have probably expected it was going to have some issues. I mean, it definitely had major issues. There's a lot of rumors that those GPUs have actually been built and sitting in warehouses for a long time, or at least like the actual GPU part, the chips that go onto the add-in boards. But there's a rumor those have been made for a while, and they've just been. They took, you know, Intel months to get the drivers to a point where they are at all usable. Which, it didn't help that the GPU market crash kind of, or maybe not crash, but, you know, with crypto crashing so hard, GPUs have gone way down in price. You can get a 3090 Ti for right around $1,000 right now. Like, new. Or, like, 1,100, you know, something like that. Like, that's a really damn good card for that price. Especially considering the 4090s are $1,500? More than that, maybe even? And that's, you know, those will try and burn your damn house down, so... Yeah, don't buy a 4090 right now, even if you have the money. These things are... No. Like, I know there's... You can use different cables, and it works fine, and shit, but it's just, honestly, don't buy a 4090 just because fucking NVIDIA at this point. They really need to get their fucking heads out of their asses. Which, we'll see. AMD just revealed their stuff, and, you know, if the, whatever, like, the top-tier card is gonna be for $1,000, if that's, like... You know, it's not going to be as good as the 4090, but for only 70% of the price, it's fine if it only gets 90 or 95% of the performance if it's significantly cheaper. And apparently their, like, media stuff is apparently going to be a lot better this time around. So, like, stuff like their encoders and stuff, so AMD could be an option too. And AMD is going to have AV1 encoders. I'm not dropping Even for like the tier down from the top tier, that's only 900. I'm not dropping $900 on a graphics card. Even if I like could do that right now, which once I get my paycheck, I guess I could. But also, those cards don't come out for another month anyways. And even if I like physically did have the money on hand to do that, it would be a very bad idea for me to purchase that right now. So we'll not do that. 300 eggs, by the way. No shiny. But that's okay. We're under odds, and you know, we're not even at a 50% chance that we would have seen a shiny by now, so we're still doing all right. We'll be right at about 50% once we wrap up. It'll be like 49 or 48.9, something like that. Yeah, probably like a little bit over 49. Anyways. But we'll see. We got 50 more tonight. Maybe we'll get the shiny. That'd be pretty nice. Hell, maybe we'll get back-to-back shinies. That'd be even better. Because then I can get the Runerigus and the Galarian Yamask. Have another 2 Pokemon done. Yeah, I don't know. There's so many factors going into like me trying to get an Intel card right now, because it's like, you know, if I get something that isn't like the A310, then I have to consider, you know, just them paying more for the card, and then, you know, is there going to be enough space in my case? I think for an A380, I'm fine. Past that, I'm probably not going to have enough space. Certainly if it's more than like a dual slot, because since I have the Elgato card in there, so, you know, if I wanted to do anything else, then it's like, well, now I have to think about a whole new system. And like, again, Twitch doesn't even support AV1 yet. YouTube does for streaming or uploading. YouTube only supports it for uploading right now. But like, also, it'd be nice to get the card early so I can make sure that at least the whole system's gonna cooperate. Plus, I do need to figure out what I'm going to do for a video editor now, because I'm almost certain that my the current version of mine that I use is not going to support AV1. It's kind of old, the program that I use. Or it's an old version of the program. And it's not as simple as just updating, because they want you to buy the new versions. There are probably updates for my version, but it, you know, it's one of those things where it's like, oh, there's a new version out for the new year. Want to buy it? It's like, no, not really. But now I might actually have a reason to do so, but we'll see. I'm glad I caught that sneeze before I, or caught the, you know, muted the microphone before that sneeze got up to me. I, like, felt it, and I had, like, 2 seconds, maybe, to do that. Anyways. But yeah, I need to think about, updating the editing program. Although, like, I guess I might not have to, because I'm probably... Once I have all my stuff set up the way I want it set up, I'm probably going to be streaming with the AV1 encoder, whatever solution I end up going for with that. And then I'll probably still record with the CPU. Well, actually, it depends on what types of games I'm going to be playing. For, like, Switch titles, I'll probably still record on the CPU. And I assume for that, I'll just do H.264 or H.265 or whatever works best for me for doing that. But then for, like, PC titles, I'd probably actually record on the GPU. So I'll stream with the AV1 encoder and then record with the H.264 encoder on the 2070. So that way I don't have to worry about there being an issue with overloading the CPU with whatever game I'm playing. Or, you know, having the CPU try to do encoding and gameplay. Because I did have an issue with, like, some of those Minecraft videos that I did where, you know, like, the audio would get crackly and the video would be a little not great in a couple spots because it just, the encoding got overloaded and it couldn't actually encode that stuff in the time that it needed to. So yeah. So that's the thing, it's like, in either of those cases, right? Since I wouldn't be recording AV1 content, I wouldn't, like, it wouldn't be an issue, because it's, you know, that's just what the Twitch version is going to be, so since the recordings would still be whatever, I can still use them. But also I need to look into AV1 more anyways, because I don't know what, like, file type that is. If it's still an MP4, then I don't know. No, I don't know that, I might still have issues if I try and load that into Vegas. We'll see. It's just, I don't know. There's a lot of things with that I do need to look into. I need to also look into moving these Pokemon out of my party now that they've hatched. But it's like, I definitely want to do the AV1 encoding for the streams, just because even being primarily shiny hunting, you know, it's, if I can make my streams as high quality as possible, then I want to do that, you know? And like, yes, in theory, you know, I could go and something I could do right now is go drop a shit ton of money on, like, you know, a brand new CPU and motherboard, so that way I can, use more of the CPU for encoding for the stream or whatever, so, you know, I can get even more quality there or something like that. But, like, that's obviously kind of expensive. That's outside what I can actually do right now in terms of money. Whereas, you know, $100 or even $150 for something that can encode a AV1 is like, well, that's not too bad, honestly. Like, it's still not cheap. It's still a lot of money, but it's a hell of a lot more affordable than a whole new system, you know? Plus, then I have to, like, rebuild this entire system, and I have to dick around with Windows and reinstalling that shit, and then there's all the other shit that I'll have to reinstall because of that. I don't want to deal with that shit, man. That's like so much work. Especially being that I built this system 2 years ago? Basically. Just under 2 years ago. Because I built it pretty much right at the beginning of, or right at the end of 2020, or right at the beginning of 2021. Because that's when I built my buddy's system, or I was upgrading his system, because he had, like, built a system earlier that year, and then he was like, oh, well, I want to do a CPU cooler for it instead of just the stock cooler, which is fine. But, so we went and got, like, a Corsair liquid cooler for it, and then in the time between originally building the system and when we were doing this, the brackets that actually come on the motherboard that you use for, like, most coolers, I guess, had been lost, because the stock cooler that had come with his AMD CPU was one where you unscrew the brackets that were already on the motherboard and you just basically pop the cooler into place. I guess because it was like a Ryzen 5 something or other. So, like, since we had to take those off, I tried to put them somewhere. They had gotten fucking lost. So, you know, we're, like, trying to figure out how the fuck are we gonna do this. I'm, like, looking at his old system because it's like, oh, maybe the AM3 stuff will work. No, it doesn't. It's like a slightly larger size for the AM4 socket. Alright, finally I was like, alright, like at this point, you know, I just want to get this shit done. I was like, alright, let's just fucking go back down to Best Buy. We'll buy the cheapest fucking AM4 motherboard and we'll just take the brackets off of that. And then I'll just take that motherboard home and whatever, it's fine. And so, because, like, I didn't have a system to use a motherboard with, right? Like, I didn't have a CPU for it, but I was like, whatever, I'll pick it up at some point here. And then I'm there, I'm at the store, I'm like, God damn it, fuck it, fine, I'm just gonna buy a CPU now, too. So that way I don't have this motherboard sitting around that I can't use. So that's when I did this system. I got it, like, upgraded and transferred over, but then, the RAM that I had didn't want to work because the Ryzen systems really like high-speed RAM. Really like high-speed RAM. And the RAM that I had was DDR4, but that was like right when DDR4 came out. Like that was it was an Intel 6700K, I think was what it was the system that I had. Basically, it was whatever, like, the first generation that used DDR4 was. So that RAM was only, like, 1336 or some shit for the speed, right? It was, like, the lowest spec speed that you could get for DDR4. And so it was just the AMD system did not want to cooperate with that. And so then I had to go out and buy fucking RAM for it. And it's like, okay, cool. So glad that this fucking trip that I took to my buddy's place to fucking build his PC and get paid to do it is turning into me spending hundreds of dollars. But I finally got it working. But it's like, I don't want to fucking go through that shit again. Especially because, like, with if I went back to Intel, which I don't really want to do because I stream and Ryzen's really good for streaming. Or at least it has a lot of cores, you know? Whereas, like, some of the Intel stuff is, like, better for gaming, but I don't really game that much on PC. Or I do play some, but like it's not really CPU bound games anyway, so I'm not too worried about that. But anyways, like if I went with an Intel system, you can still get even with the newest Intel systems, they'll still support DDR4 depending on the motherboard. It has to be a motherboard that has DDR4 slots. We got one more box of eggs, by the way, tonight. But yeah, it has to support, or it can, the new Intel systems can support DDR4 still. But if I go AMD, which is what I would most likely do, those are DDR5 only. So I would have to also buy new RAM, and DDR5 RAM is still, you know, still going to be more expensive than DDR4. The prices ain't really come down on that too much yet. Even though DDR5 was getting scalped when it first came out, which was hilarious because there wasn't really any point to it yet. There was like, it was only the new Intel systems that supported it, but like, those, you know, weren't, like, you could get the Intel systems that supported DDR4 still, so you didn't have to get it. And DDR5 was still, you know, it was still brand new, basically. It still is pretty new. But it's like, you know, the brand new stuff was like, well, it doesn't really perform any better, you know. The new systems haven't been designed to, like, optimize for it or whatever the fuck you want to, whatever marketing terms you want to throw at it. But it's like, you know, it just, there wasn't really a point to buy DDR5 yet. And yet, it was getting scalped because anything electronics-wise was getting scalped to hell. So DDR5 is cheaper now, but it's like, so is DDR4, you know. Anyways, I don't want to build a new system right now. I just want to throw a new card in my system, maybe a new power supply. That shouldn't be too bad. And maybe I need to look in, like, new hard drive or something too, or another hard drive. I need to see how much space I even have for another hard drive for this thing. I suppose what I would probably do is I'd probably just, if I got a new one, I would clone, because I have a 1 terabyte that's extremely old and I really need to get rid of before it dies on me. And, you know, takes a whole bunch of data with it. I need to clone that over to my other 8 terabyte hard drive. So that way it's just safe, I don't have to worry about it. And then go get like another 8 terabyte just so I don't have to worry about filling up the current 8 terabyte one. Actually, I think if I was going to be messing with the new cards for the system or whatever, I'd probably just like do the cloning the drive over now and just take it out of the system. Or even... what's the thing about it? I could use it to like record my streams and then just keep like the MKV or the FLV or whatever backup files I'm, you know, whatever the original, like what I recorded as, before I converted it over to a normal MP4. Because the reason why you don't want to record as an MP4 for like a long stream is, if anything happens, like if OBS crashes or your computer crashes or something causes those to happen, like a power outage, something like that, that file is gone. You can't get it back. And I'm sure there's probably some way, but it's probably a lot of work. Whereas other formats like FLV or MKV, those will, you'll lose like the last maybe minute or two, but you don't lose the entire file. You can still recover the rest of it. So that's why you shouldn't ever record as like an MP4, because, at least for a live stream, you know, because it's like if something happens, that's gone. And like, yeah, you can go pull the Twitch version, but like the whole point of recording locally is so that I can record in higher quality than what the Twitch version will be. In fact, it's about twice the bit rate, which doesn't necessarily mean twice the quality, but it kind of does. Yeah, I could like just record the like original file to the old drive, and if that thing dies, you know, it's not that big of a deal. I guess if it dies mid-recording, that's kind of a problem, but again, if it's like one recording that I lose, I guess it's not the end of the world. I don't know, I guess that's a good point. Yeah, I shouldn't put the... Yeah, I just shouldn't use that drive again. Just get rid of it. Actually, what I should do is replace it with like a... maybe like a 512 gig or a 1 terabyte SSD or something like that. Just like something really cheap, maybe like a 256. I think that's what I have as my boot drive. But just do that and just record to that. That way I don't ever have to worry about like, you know, recording too much or too fast for it or something like that. And then from that, I can just dump those files onto the hard drive when I remux it, is what it's called in OBS. There is actually a thing as well that you can set it to auto remux, I believe. So as soon as you like end your recording, it'll convert the file over. But I don't really worry about that because it always kind of concerns me. I don't know. Like it doesn't really take any effort to do it manually or set it to like so it'll just do it. Or I don't fucking know what I'm saying here. Yeah, I don't know. It's just the other thing is that not like there's definitely streams where like I wrap up and it's like, yeah, I'm not gonna upload that, so I don't even bother remuxing it. So it's like, well, don't really need to do it, you know? I don't really need to do it automatically if sometimes I'm not gonna do it at all. And like, I guess in theory I could just delete both those files as well, but also then that's just, you know, more usage of the drive and like if I can not prematurely kill my drives, that would be pretty nice. Though this I can't believe this hard drive is actually still alive, because I was thinking about it recently. This hard drive is from, it's basically a decade old at this point. Because I originally bought it on my... It wasn't part of my original PC build, like my first gaming PC that I built. But I did buy it like a month or two later. Because my original system, I just bought like a 500 gigabyte drive back in 2012. I just used that because it's like, yeah, I can add more storage later. That's fine. It's the same reason why I originally had 8 gigs of RAM, and then I upgraded later to 16. In fact, I think I bought those at the same time. But yeah, so like I bought that 1 terabyte because I mean the 500 gigs was, even back then that was like, yeah, it's not really as much as you want. And it wasn't too expensive. I think it was like $100 for the 1 terabyte. So it was like, okay, well, fuck it. So I got birthday money or Christmas money or something, so I just bought that. But that's the same 1 terabyte that I've been using for years now. So it needs to get replaced because those things only last so long. Fortunately, since it's not been like, it's never been my main system boot drive, so it's not been used too much, but it has also been used for a lot of recording and stuff. A long time ago for those recordings, but they did happen. And I mean, it does, I mean, it's a, you know, spinning platter, like it's a mechanical drive, things break. So I guess that is a thing. Odds are, if the drive dies, you can recover the data. You just have to send it somewhere to get recovered, because they basically just have to take the platters out and then swap them or something, or read from them, or however they do that. But like, as long as the platters are fine, then the data can be recovered. But if the platters aren't fine, then the data can't be recovered, and you're kind of SOL at that point, or at least not all the data. I don't think I keep anything too important on that drive, but it is like, there's a good amount on it. A good amount of stuff that I'd be frustrated if I lost. Hell, I think stuff like the webcam frame and stuff, that stuff's all on that drive. I really should put that somewhere else. I probably should just put that on the... I forget where I put the transition file when I like transition between scenes on OBS. I should probably just put them all into that folder, because the thing is, so I had to put that file on, I think it's my NVMe drive, the one that I really use for video games mostly. Even that thing's kind of ancient at this point. That thing I bought in 2016, I think? Something like that? Like early 2016? God damn, that thing's like 6 years old already. God damn. Anyways. But yeah, I put the transition file on that because the transition file is a uncompressed AVI video, which is, at least with my current editing software stuff, that was the only way I could do a transparency on it. And so, despite only being a few seconds long, it's like 1.5 gigs or something like that. I wonder if I can find that, actually. NVMe. There it is. Yeah, 1.62 gigabytes. Let me make sure that wasn't shiny. Okay. I guess the other animation would have played. What's the bitrate on it? Oh, you know, it's just, what? That can't be right. Oh, yeah. Yeah, if it's a 3-second long video, that's 1.5 gigs. So, it's like almost 4 gigabit per second. Is that right? There has to have been something else I could have done to make it do that. But that was like the easiest way to do it. And I was like, oh, it's fine if it's a massive file size because, you know, it's only going to be a couple gigs anyway. So that isn't, you know, in the grand scheme of things, that's nothing, right? Except then it's like a 4 gigabit file. So, or gigabit per second file. So like, you know, kind of can't load that off the spinny drive in real time. That's like an issue that I had a couple times doing it, is that it, the first time I would use the transition, it'd be super choppy because it literally couldn't load the data quick enough for it. But then after that, because it would be like cache data or in RAM or something, it would be fine. But I didn't want to deal with, like, the cache data being overridden or something, and then it's copy again or some shit, so it's like, I'm just gonna leave it. Just leave it on the super fast SSD, and we'll be fine. Alright, so I do need to grab 6 more eggs here. So what I'll do is I'll just come over there, grab an egg, we'll hatch those the old-fashioned way. Or the same way I've been doing, just riding back and forth. And then we'll just come over here, grab 5 more eggs, and then we'll go at it. So yeah, it looks like we're probably not going to get another shiny. Or tonight anyways, we're not going to get another shiny, but oh well. Or any shinies tonight, I guess. But yeah, you know, again, we're still under odds. We're still going to be under 50%, if only just barely. So, whatever, it's not a big deal. I'm just like, really would like to get it this weekend, so that way I don't have to worry about it. But we'll see what happens. I think tomorrow we'll try and do 250 eggs. So we'll step it up another 50. We'll be at 600 at the end of tomorrow. Again, assuming we don't get in the next 10, we won't. Yeah, and we'll probably start around the same time, about 12:30 a.m. for me. It's like almost 3 a.m. right now, Jesus. Yeah. But who knows, we'll see. Maybe we'll get it. Again, we won't, but maybe we'll get it still. But yeah, hey, if you're watching this on YouTube, if somehow you've gotten this far, thank you. I do appreciate it. Hey, come check me out on Twitch. Follow the Twitch channel. It's twitch.tv/panicosgaming. Yeah, I mean, I stream 5 times a week, Wednesday through Sunday. Don't stream Mondays or Tuesdays, typically. If I miss a stream, I try to stream Monday. I also didn't do that last week. But yeah, usually pretty late nights. You know, typically somewhere around that, like, midnight mark is when I start, like 11 p.m. or midnight or somewhere in there. But yeah, pretty much just shiny hunt. I do some playthroughs as well, too. If you're on the YouTube channel, you've probably seen that. If you're watching this live, or if you're watching on, like, the Twitch VODs, come check out the YouTube channel. It's just Panicos on YouTube. It's all, like, the same logo stuff. There's, like, multiples. I don't know how that stuff's gonna work right now because of the, like, YouTube is switching over to handles, but I don't know why the fuck that's anything different from a normal username. I don't fucking know. YouTube is making weird changes for the sake of weird changes because for some reason that company has this fetish for changing their shit all the time for no fucking reason, even though it works fine. And then everyone complains because it's shit and no one wanted these changes, no one asked for them, why the fuck are you making them? And then finally you get used to it, and right around the time that you get used to it, they fucking change it again. So, thanks YouTube. But yeah, unfortunately I don't have the, like, customized URL, so I can't, like, you know, say, hey, youtube.com/whatever, like, I don't have that yet, so, but yeah, just search for Panicos on YouTube, or, you know, if you're on the Twitch channel, just, it's in the profile. There's a link to it somewhere. But yeah, I have all my VODs up on YouTube. You know, playthroughs, shiny hunting. I mean, I guess that's really all there is that I would be doing. I guess I do have some, like, old Organization and Chill and Pokemon Home stuff, but yeah, I mean, I have playthroughs of, you know, Legends Arceus, Let's Go Eevee I just finished up, Sword and Shield I did in the past, BDSP, and obviously when Scarlet comes out, we're going to be going in hard on that. So, man, these eggs are taking a while to pop up, feels like. But yeah, Scarlet's going to be a good time. I can't wait for that. We'll be streaming that right when it goes live on that Thursday. So on the, for me anyways, it'll be, I believe this is how it's going to work. If it's like a BDSP and I believe Legends Arceus, 10 p.m. Thursday night, that's 10 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Not Mountain Daylight Time or whatever the fuck, because Arizona doesn't do that shit. Although I thought they had voted on, the U.S. government had voted to stop doing Daylight Savings Time, but apparently it didn't make it to one of the houses yet, like the House of Representatives, I guess. But also, I don't know, fucking that shit. I would have sworn I saw that it was already like fully voted for and they were killing it, but whatever. The point is, Arizona doesn't do that shit. So for me, it's just Mountain Standard Time all year. I don't have to worry about the daylight saving time bullshit. Yeah, pretty much right when Scarlet and Violet go live in the United States, I'll be playing it and I'll be streaming it. I actually have to, at some point here, I need to go and like request the day off, that like Saturday. Request that off so I can just stream that day. And then I'm also just gonna tell my work when I go in on that Thursday, just like, hey, by the way, at 9:30 I'm leaving, so if there's still shit that needs to be done, everyone else is gonna have to finish it. I mean, we close at 9, so it probably won't be an issue, but I'll just let them know. It's like, hey, I have a hard out at 9:30, so even if there's like a little bit left to clean up, the drivers can take care of it. It'll be fine. I stay there late pretty much every day to help them, so they can stay there a little bit later to help me out. Alright, 3 more eggs to hatch here. Yeah, I'm going to try and do that live stream, and then as soon as I wrap that up, it's going to start uploading. I'm just going to set it to, or try to set it to just, well, the thing is, so I don't want to set it to go live on YouTube the instant it's ready, because it won't actually be, the HD version won't be processed. It'll just be 360p, and if someone clicks on that, you'd be like, oh, fuck this, I'm not going to watch this. So, but pretty much as soon as it's, probably as soon as, like, I wake up on Saturday, or on Friday, rather, I'll just set it to live, because it should be processed enough by then. It depends on how late I stream on Thursday night, Friday morning, whichever one you want to consider it. Because I do hope to be doing a real long stream on that day, but we'll see. I mean, if the game, I don't think it will be, but if for some reason the game is a steaming pile of shit that just doesn't work or something, then, you know, maybe we won't get too far into it that night. We'll see. But regardless, I'm going to play through all of Scarlet. I will shiny hunt in Scarlet. Like, as long as the game functions, even if it isn't necessarily good, then we'll be playing it. 350 eggs. No shiny. 49.55% chance of seeing a shiny by now. So, technically, still more likely to have not seen it. But only just barely. But yeah, anyways, we're going to wrap up there for tonight. Tomorrow, 12:30 a.m. So, yeah, no, it would still be, I was going to say not tomorrow, but it would still be tomorrow because it's already tomorrow, kind of, because it's 3 a.m. Anyways, I'm going to wrap up. We'll do more tomorrow. We'll do about 250 eggs. I need to collect a bunch of eggs right now off stream, so I have that ready. But anyways, thank you everyone who watched. I do appreciate it. If you're watching on Twitch, YouTube, wherever, like I just said, I do appreciate it. I appreciate it a lot. Yeah, we'll do some more streaming tomorrow, and I'll see you guys next time.